Welcome back to Demigod Debut. I'm Mal, Hera hater and longtime Percy Jackson fan.
And I'm Julie, Percy Jackson newbie and Thalia Grace defender.
Excellent. So we're one and the same, I feel like.
She was catching strays in these chapters.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, the beef was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a podcast about Julie reading The Lost Hero for the first time and almost finishing The Lost Hero.
Craziness.
Like, this is kind of our big climax, and then we just gotta tie up our loose ends next time. It's crazy.
I gotta admit, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but big fight scene, a little disappointed, not gonna lie.
Really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we'll get there, but you know me, I love a good action scene.
Yeah.
This didn't do it for me, really.
Okay, interesting. Well, more on that later, I guess, because we gotta go rescue Hera.
If we must.
Unfortunately. Okay, so, chapter 47 is a Leo chapter, and where we last left off, they had sort of strong-armed a ranger person into giving them this helicopter. Leo is flying the helicopter. 3 teenagers alone in a helicopter. Leo is kind of going back and forth between, complete confidence and total panic, which is relatable to me personally. And so when he's sort of on autopilot, he's doing what needs to be done, flipping all the right levers, but then he starts thinking, and then he starts freaking out, and he, hears his aunt in his head yelling at him in Spanish, saying that he's a delinquent who's gonna, crash and burn, and he's like, maybe she's right. Boo. We've never met this aunt of his, but I hate her.
Yeah, leave him alone. He's just a baby.
Piper asks if he's okay, and he says that she sounds more nervous than he is, so he puts on a brave face for her. And, Leo, the way he's always trying to lighten the mood and, make things better for everyone else, let your friends help you, let your friends see you be vulnerable.
He's too precious.
I love him. What a character. So, we're going to the Wolf House. And so Jason explains the Wolf House, how it was built by Jack London, who was a son of Mercury, aka Roman Hermes, who was a writer and is best known for writing Call of the Wild and White Fang. And, this is a real guy.
Did you ever read Call of the Wild?
I did not.
Me either.
It's about a dog, right? Is it from the point of view of the dog?
I actually don't know.
I got on a rabbit hole about Jack London, but I didn't actually look up what any of the books are about. Wild guy, by the way.
Okay. Well, I don't want the AI thing, so give me a second.
Ew, no thank you.
We're bypassing that. Okay. Yeah, the central character of the novel is a dog named Buck. Buck is stolen from his home in California and sold into service as a sled dog in Alaska. The heck? No, let him be a puppy in California. The hell? I don't like this book already, and I never read it.
In a way, it parallels the demigods, because let them be children.
Let them be children. Although they're usually not from warm and fuzzy homes.
That is true. Yeah. I'm just sort of interested in Rick's decision to, make this real guy so plot relevant.
Does his estate know about this?
Yeah, there's been other famous people that he's been oh yeah, George Washington, son of Athena, by the way. And that's been, odd, but this is, relevant to the plot.
Yeah.
Does this guy know that he is so integral to canon of this story?
He's gotta be dead, right?
Well, no, he is. Yes, because, like I said, I got on a Wikipedia rabbit hole on Jack London because I was just
I'm sorry, this is a modern man. That looks like a modern... That's iPhone face. That man knows what Tinder is.
He does not. He died in, 1930-something, I think, or 1916. Oh, that was way off. He died at 40 years old. I think that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I swear to God, I've swiped left on this guy before. Swear to God.
No, thank you. Could be a descendant. He had daughters.
Maybe I'm being catfished by someone using Jack London.
Catfished by Jack London. I copied the beginning of his Wikipedia article because it just was kind of wild. It says, John Griffith London was an American novelist, journalist, and activist, a pioneer of commercial fiction and American magazines. He was one of the first American authors to become an international celebrity and earn a large fortune from writing. He was also an innovator in the genre that would later become known as science fiction. London was part of the radical literary group The Crowd in San Francisco and a passionate advocate of animal welfare, workers' rights, and socialism. Hell yeah. And so then you get into his life. So number one, and we get a little bit of this in the story because Jason's oh, there were some things that didn't add up about who his father was and whatever. So His father allegedly was this astrologer who was not married to his mother.
Mhm.
And according to her, he demanded that she have an abortion. And when she didn't, he denied any responsibility for the kid. And so she shot herself. And then Wikipedia says, quote, she was not seriously wounded, but she was temporarily deranged. What?
I think you gotta be a little deranged to shoot yourself. But
And so then he was sort of raised by a foster mother who had been a former slave. Also, at 21, he reached out to the man that was believed to be his father. And this man said there's no way he could be his father because he was impotent. And so I was
he's like, my
okay.
dick does not work. Sorry, kid.
And so basically, this child, when he was 13, he started working 12 to 18-hour days in a cannery. So, no wonder he was passionate about workers' rights. And then he borrowed some money to buy a boat from an oyster pirate. That just sounds like a fake, oyster pirate.
I know what I'm being for Halloween.
I mean, I see the vision. You're on a boat, you're stealing oysters that other people have caught, you're an oyster pirate, sure, but, that's not a real job.
That's crazy.
And then, with the boat that he bought from the oyster pirate, he became an oyster pirate himself.
Nice.
Then he was homeless for a while. He spent 30 days in the Erie County Penitentiary for vagrancy. And then after all of that, returned to go back to high school in Oakland.
How old is he? What?
He was 13 working in a cannery.
He's doing office as a teenager.
Yeah. He was an oyster pirate as a teenager. And then went back to go to high school. And then at 21, he decided he's going to sail out and join the Klondike Gold Rush. And he got scurvy while he was out there.
Oh my God.
So through all of this, he's writing stuff. He's trying to get published. And then he returns to California. He marries his first wife. And this is what Wikipedia says. And I quote, they both acknowledged publicly that they were not marrying out of love, but from friendship and the belief that they would produce sturdy children.
What is a sturdy child?
I don't know. And I mean, they had 2 daughters, unsure if they were sturdy, but they did exist.
God.
So while he was married to this woman that he didn't love, he was having a bunch of affairs, because naturally. And so he ended up leaving her after 4 years for one of these affair partners. And one of the things that Wikipedia says about his second wife is that, he was drawn to her because of her uninhibited sexuality.
Good for her.
I mean, yeah.
Queen.
And it said all this stuff about they were soulmates and everybody knew that they were meant to be together. And I'm like, this poor first wife, everybody knows that they didn't marry for love and then he found his real soulmate. What a bummer. And so then he bought a big ranch, and this is where he built the Wolf House. And he wanted this to be this big, successful empire, but it never really was. And Wikipedia says he spent $80,000 to build the Wolf House, which is the equivalent of $2.8 million today.
That's a pretty penny.
And it burned down before they even moved in. That is true. And it's a little unsure how exactly he died. At the time of his death, he had dysentery, alcoholism, and uremia, and was taking a lot of morphine and opium for the pain. So some think it may have been an accidental or not so accidental overdose situation as well. So fascinating stuff in this Wikipedia page. Would recommend. I was very entertained. And then you get to the bottom and it's controversy, and it's well, he was a little racist towards Asian people, and also he supported eugenics, but it's
it's a lot of progressives in the early 1900s. Gotta be honest.
Yeah. But fascinating guy. Can't really get over him being an oyster pirate. That's incredible.
Insane.
That's my dream job, to be quite honest.
Yeah, where can we sign up?
I think you just have to get a boat and start stealing
oysters. Yeah.
The podcast is ending because we're going to become oyster pirates.
Yeah, it was nice knowing all of you guys.
Back to our
let's
canon, I guess. So we're still kind of on Jack London within canon, so it's a segue. But so Leo asks if Jack London went to Camp Half-Blood. Jason says no, and also that he's remembering pieces of his past and none of it's good. But the Wolf House is apparently on sacred ground, and it's where both Jack London and Jason apparently started their demigod journeys. And if Gaia can raise his name, this guy's name, Porphyrin?
Babe, your guess is as good as mine. Call him P. Big P.
Big P? It's gotta be Porphyrin.
That's a pretty penny.
Porphyrin?
I'm calling him Big P.
We'll go with Big P. I was like, I've written this so many times, I am for sure going to know how to pronounce it, and when it came down to it, I choked.
Happens to the best of us.
Okay, so if we raise Big P there, it might be enough to wake Gaia fully. So Leo starts thinking again about, like, being a hero and how, like, none of this seems real. He's just an orphan from Houston, and he's been running his whole life, and he wants to run now. And he thinks about how seeing Piper with her dad reminded him that, like, there's no happy reunion coming for him at the end of this. Like,
baby.
Leo. Then he notes that the creaking of the helicopter almost sounds like Morse code. And he starts saying, like, not the end, not the end.
Well,
so then I was like, is this what Festus was telling him
in the early,
back in Omaha? I got very into trying to solve the Morse code puzzle.
Honest.
But I looked back at my, like, Morse code notes, and none of the letters that I had pieced out seemed to make any part of not the end.
Unless Rick just, like, made stuff up and didn't actually look up Morse code.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that it, like, doesn't spell anything.
Yeah. He just said stuff.
He just put some dots and dashes, and he was like, the kids aren't going to look this up.
Wrong.
Yeah. Rick didn't account for me.
No, he did not.
So, the other thing that kind of made me laugh here is that he's like, okay, we're about 30 minutes out, so, you know, if you want to get some rest, do it now. And Jason goes and just, like, immediately passes out like he's somebody's dad. Incredible.
Like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
I know.
the book.
I'm like, it would take me the full 30 minutes to, like, fall asleep, and then I would feel worse. And so then he and Piper kind of have a conversation about her dad. He also kind of notes how much she's changed since the wilderness school and how she's more, like, commanding now. And, you know, they kind of have one last worried conversation about, like, what if Jason isn't who we've gotten to know? Like, what if he actually is dangerous? Mm-hmm. But Leo says that they can trust him, and, you know, for what it's worth, you can trust me too. And it's cute. Friendship, love it. And they kind of relax until they hit some storm clouds. And so that's our chapter 47. And I called this one Leo Overthinks, Not Overthinking. Because he's very much like, I can't overthink, like, I gotta just do what I have to do, but then he, like, starts spiraling.
It's good chapter title, because that's exactly what he's doing.
The only other notable thing in this chapter, I feel like, is the Jack London lore, but they don't even give you that on the page.
Yeah, no, we had to go digging for that.
Yeah, because I would be like, chapter title is something about oyster pirates, but
that wouldn't make any sense.
I had to look that up. Right, so 48, also a Leo chapter. And so the storm they hit, of course, is a snowstorm. And our helicopter starts kind of crashing, of course. Leo lands it best he can in the middle of this combat that is happening. And then as soon as they land and get out of the helicopter, it is flattened by the most massive snowball. So that poor ranger woman is not getting her helicopter back.
How much do you think that costs taxpayers?
It's a good question. What does a helicopter cost?
It's gotta be a lot.
Googling. What does a... Leo says what kind of helicopter it is, doesn't he?
Baby. Yeah, he does.
Hold on. Okay. Bell 412 HP utility helicopter. What does it cost?
What?
Aircraftcostcalculator.com says, depending on numerous factors, the average price for a pre-owned, so this is pre-owned, Bell 412 HP is $2,500,000.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, these are all, like, used. I want to see, like, what does it cost to buy one new? Okay.
Yeah.
ParamountBusinessJets.com says the average purchase price of a new one is about $11 million. Hourly rental rate is around
just, like, made $2,500. Actually, well, they didn't use it for that long.
They also didn't rent it, so they didn't pay for it. I knew it was going to be expensive, but multiple millions of dollars just crushed by a snowball.
Lied. I was going to say at least $1 million, but I was not expecting 11.
Yeah, I was like, it can't be that much more than a car. Yes, it can.
Yes.
Okay, so we cost taxpayers a lot of money there. All right, so Thalia comes to meet them at the helicopter, and, like, as she does, an Earthborn comes to attack her, and she does a flip and lands and shoots the Earthborn and takes him out. Incredible stuff there from Thalia. Like, love that. She tells them that the hunters are about to be overrun by Earthborn wolves and storm spirits, and cherry on top, the monsters are reforming as fast as they can kill them. To top it all off, Hera is inside, and they can't figure out how to open the cage, and they only have a few minutes until the sun goes down, and that is conveniently when Hera thinks that Big P is gonna rise. And also, monsters are stronger at night, so, like, Thalia's being highly negative here, and it's really bringing the vibe down of this fight that we just landed in.
I mean, she's right, though.
She is right. She's like, hey, glad you guys are here. Everything is terrible. And so as soon as they go into this house, Jason, like, collapses because his memories all come rushing back at once. And I'm like, God, finally, he's remembering something.
But totally unhelpful in this moment. Like, get up.
No, totally unhelpful in this moment. Like, please, have your crisis later.
Yeah.
And he says that when his mom brought him here, she gave him to the wolves. And I think Rick really missed an opportunity to, like, introduce this to us in a funnier way, because it would be hilarious to have Jason, like, have really bad table manners, and to have someone be like, what, were you raised by wolves? And him to go, yeah, actually, I think I was. And then just, like, go back to eating with his teeth or whatever. Because, you know, there were times that, like, when it was relevant, things just came back to him. So I wonder if that would have worked.
That would have been good.
Yeah. Anyway, in the house, they also find the big, like, spires of rock that are imprisoning Hera and also raising Big P. Leo, since this is his POV, he says that Hera is in her, like, Tia Kaida form, which is exactly how he remembers her as a kid. And I'm wondering, like, are they all seeing her this way, or is everyone seeing their own unique version?
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Because, like, I don't think anybody else really describes her.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Jason does.
Yeah, he might.
Like, I think when she comes out of the cage.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because now I'm thinking about it. So many things. Okay, yeah, so Jason, in his chapters, describes her. He says she has black robes that she, like, throws off to reveal a white gown. So maybe they're all seeing Tia Kaida right now? I don't know. And then naturally, Thalia starts beef with her. Love. She tells them that the hunters tried, but they couldn't get the cage open, but it also might have been that her heart wasn't really in it and she didn't try hard enough because she thinks they should just leave Hera there. And then Hera says something about, like, when she gets out, she'll make Thalia sorry she was ever born, which doesn't feel like something you should be saying to one of the people trying to rescue you, but...
Yeah, kind of dampers the motivation to continue the saving.
Right. And I also appreciate her, like, list of grievances and also the order that the things come in. Number 1, she's like, you sent cows after Annabeth.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
Yeah. How dare you?
Number 2, you dropped a statue on my legs. Like, that's second to the cows.
Yeah.
And then the third grievance, you took my brother. Like, these feel...
out of order.
Backwards.
She's like, Jason,
Which, I mean, I guess, you know, you wanna end with the hard-hitting stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, it was just funny to me that, like, the Jason was last with the cows.
Yeah, she's like,
Sending the cows after Annabeth.
You kidnapped my brother.
Yeah. It's like, you sent cows after my friend, not to mention kidnapping my brother, but, like, the cows are what we really focused on. Also, I love that Leo, like, low-key respects the cows. Because, like, honestly, I respect the cow thing just a little bit because it's very funny.
Like, if it hadn't happened to Annabeth, it would have been incredibly funny.
Oh, if it was happening to Drew, I'd be like, Hera, do it more.
So good.
So Jason has to be the mature one, and he steps in and tells her this isn't the time for all this, and she should go and help her hunters. And Hera even notes that Jason is more mature than his sister, and that she chose her champion well. And he's like, I'm not your champion, lady. And the use of the word lady there is very funny because I feel like lady tends to lean towards disrespectful, at least to me in my reading of it. I'm like,
lady.
Like, what are you doing, lady? You know? It's not like a lady.
Milady.
So, well, it's not that either.
Yeah.
Like, this feels a little sassy from Jason in this moment. But he says he's only helping her because she stole his memories and she's better than the alternative. Big settle for Biden energy. Once again. And it's just like, I don't know that I could think of another god who wouldn't be able to assemble a quest team where there wasn't at least one demigod that at least sort of liked him. Because I'm like, at the very least, the other gods at least have their children. But then even though some of the other gods that don't have children, like Artemis, the hunters
ride or die.
Were all over that quest in Titan's Curse. Hestia, I think any demigod would go on a quest for Hestia.
I would go on a quest for Hestia.
Yeah. Who else doesn't have kids? Surely there's more gods that don't have kids. I don't know. I can't think. Like, just, that's how you know you suck. When the champions that you chose don't even like you. And so Hera tells Leo to use his brain to get her out, because the reason she picked him is because he's intelligent. And so he does use that brain. And he thinks of the prophecy and the line that talked about the forge and the dove breaking the cage. And so he tells Piper he's going to need her help and some time. And then the temperature drops dramatically. And storm spirits shaped like horses rush in. And I love how they all, like, grab weapons to get ready to fight. And Leo initially pulls breath mints out of his tool belt and then has to, like, exchange them for a hammer real quick, hoping nobody saw. So cartoony. I love it. Also, then a wolf comes in dragging frozen Thalia. And it specifically describes her as being an ice sculpture, not like a frozen block of ice. And in what would be almost a rom-com moment if this were not his sister, Jason goes, "Who did this? I'll kill you myself."
True.
Like, I'm like, that, you can find that in any, like, romantasy book, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's some vengeance right there.
So who did this is, in fact, Keaney. And she makes her grand entrance to tell Leo that time is the one thing that they do not have.
Do you want to hear what I wrote when I read this part?
Yes.
I wrote, "The snow bitch Ice Thalia, not on my watch."
Yeah.
You gotta insert that meme. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So I'm now referring to her as Ace Bitch.
Not a girl's girl.
No, we don't tolerate that.
Yeah, so I titled this one, "Nice to See You Again," and ice is in all caps. Nice. Because I love a pun. But you did clock, you were like, "Ice bitch is coming back." So perhaps it's a little too
Well, it's a good
direct.
foreshadowing, you know?
It's kind of fun. Yeah, you got another chapter title.
No, I like that one.
All right, we got to get into Jason POV yet again. He just keeps having POVs. 49, Jason. So it starts with Jason saying that after Mount Diablo, he didn't think he could ever feel more afraid or devastated. And I just went, like, why is he feeling devastated? Like, nothing about that was really devastating. Like, everyone made it out. I think it went pretty okay. Like, it's fine to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, just saying that I don't think I could ever feel more devastated, because I feel like you could always feel more devastated. Like, you would feel way more devastated if, like, your friends had died, you know?
Right.
I don't know, it's just a weird choice of words to me. And so, things aren't going well. His sister is frozen. He's replaced his broken sword with a piece of wood. So, like, when Leo was pulling out the breath mints, the thing he picked up was just, like, an icy piece of wood. And so he's surrounded by monsters. And he says his only assets are a whiny imprisoned goddess, a sort of girlfriend with a dagger, and Leo, who thinks he can defeat armies with breath mints, making it very clear to all of us that Jason did indeed see him pull them out. And, like, you just said your weapon is a plank of wood. Like, you're not one to talk.
Yeah.
And also, like, Leo has been so good on this quest. I don't know what you're even saying.
He flew the helicopter to get you there.
Right. Why are you like, oh yeah, my only allies are Leo? Yeah, Leo rocks. Leave him alone.
Can we be a little grateful here?
And so Jason's memories are kind of coming back, and so he knows he's done dangerous things, but also he knows that he's never been closer to death than he is right now. Yikes. And so Canny kind of villain monologues here. Says first she plans to defrost the hunters one at a time and hunt them down for amusement. Not a girl's girl. I think maybe she should look into joining the hunters. Like, maybe she needs more female
Maybe
friends.
she'd like it.
I think she might. And so, turns out she was also the one who tricked Hera into coming to the Wolf House, and also the one who told Aeolus to issue the order to kill all the demigods. And she said, you know, she couldn't kill them in Quebec because her father had guaranteed them safe passage, but pretty soon she plans to overthrow him and take the throne. And she also pretty much expected their quest to fail, so she wasn't too worried about letting them leave. And so basically, TLDR, her plan is for Jason to die so his blood can taint this sacred ground for generations. And allegedly, his demigod brethren will be outraged and assume that the Greeks have been conspiring with the giants. Great. And Jason's got enough memory to know how effective this plan would be, but he doesn't really explain it to us or to Leo or Piper. Because he even says, he's like, I don't think Leo and Piper understand, which I'm like, maybe they understand more than you think. Maybe you're not the only one who's smart here.
Yeah.
And so Keaney says that when they retake the ancient places, she will cover the Acropolis in snow. To which I say, please do not. Because when I went to Greece a couple summers ago, I fell and ate shit on the stairs leading up to the Acropolis. Like, I have never fallen so hard in my life. Those stairs are so slippery, we do not need to add ice.
Girl, any place for you to fall, you fall there.
Yeah,
So
it hurt.
God, that's funny.
Yeah, and it was very embarrassing because I was with like a tour group and everyone was like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I'm just like, everyone's looking at me now because I just fell.
I'm actually humiliated, thanks.
So, the worst time anyone could have at the Acropolis, to be quite honest. Yeah, so anyway, Leo then realizes that when Enceladus was talking about destroying the gods' roots, he meant their roots in Greece. So what does that mean? Who's to say? Keaney then offers to let Leo join her because his skills could be useful, and I'm like, girl, for what? You want to cover the world in snow, and he's the fire guy.
She just wants his pretty face.
She does, and she wants him to be on her team instead of working against her. And I'm a big fan of the way that Leo apparently turns around to see if she might be talking to someone else behind him.
Like, what the hell?
And so he laughs. He's like, absolutely not. No one messes with my dragon and gets away with it. And he says he can't believe he thought she was hot. She, of course, takes offense to this and is like, I'm very cold, and tries to shoot some sleet their way, but Leo makes like a big firewall and melts it. And then, cheesy line of all time, he goes, that's what happens to snow in Texas. It frickin' melts. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But this is not good.
He's trying.
He is. And then Kenny calls for the monsters to kill the demigods. And so that's the end of this chapter. And I don't love this chapter title, but I think it's fine. I called this one Leo Resists an Irresistible Offer, because he doesn't even think about taking Kenny up on this when a few chapters ago he would have been all over this. So that's growth.
True.
You know what that is? Growth. Yeah, and I don't really have a better other idea. All right, so we ready for chapter 50?
Let's do it.
Yes. So chapter 50, also a Jason chapter. And, I just want to point out that the Roman numeral for 50 is an L. And Jason does take quite a big L in this chapter. Several big L's, actually.
Pretty good.
So he does start this chapter off pretty well. He starts by smacking the hell out of a wolf with his wood plank. And then he immediately decides he's going to climb on one of the storm spirit horses. And then we get this mini version of a Horse Girl movie where he is trying to tame this wild stallion that nobody else understands or whatever. Jason kind of wills the storm horse to remain solid and keep it under control. And the part that really gets me is when he goes, Tempest, is that your name? And it says that the spirit shakes its mane like it's pleased to be recognized. This is a Horse Girl movie. Jason is a horse girl. He's a horse girl fighting monsters with a plank of wood. And then, the same time this is happening, Piper's kind of distracting the Earthborn with her beauty so that she can kill them with her knife. And on one hand, I'm like, girl boss. And on the other, I'm like, okay, she's 15. I don't really love all the emphasis being placed on, her beauty, when she's a teenager. Why are these Earthborn so distracted by a teenager? Get a job, stay away from her. Kind of creepy, the whole thing. And then Leo is fighting Kenny and melting all her ice. Who's hot now? Literally Leo, because he's actually on fire. And he's also, functioning as a heater and keeping them all from freezing, which is great and helpful. They take care of all the monsters pretty easily, but Kenny's like, you haven't won anything. It's too late. He's awake. Leo then throws some flaming hammers at her, and she disappears. And then the horse movie continues, because Piper tells Jason, nice horse. And Tempest, rears up and electricity shoots across his hooves. This is giving scene where cute girl Jason has had a crush on for years comes over and is, very impressed by the horse that he's been working to tame. I assume. I don't know that I've ever consumed, a horse girl movie, but this is, in my head, this is what a horse girl movie is.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one, but this just sounds right.
If there's any connoisseurs of, horse girl media who could, recommend us a good horse girl movie, I would watch it. So, they get interrupted by Hera saying that the Earth is claiming her and that they need to hurry. Leo tells Piper to talk to the cage, and so she starts telling Gaia to go back to sleep. And this also makes Jason start to feel a little sleepy. And then, one of the most ridiculous things that happens in this book, Leo pulls a saw out of his tool belt and goes, I have nowhere to plug this in. And then Tempest the horse lets Leo plug it into him, and it works.
I don't like hearing that back. I don't like the way that sounds. No.
It's truly one of the most insane things
I don't like that
has
at all.
ever happened in one of these books.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, hate that.
Why'd you have to say plug it into him? I don't like that. I don't like those words.
How would you describe what happens?
I don't know. I just don't like it.
I don't know how else to describe it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't like it.
Alright, and then, the big problem, Porphyrion, Big P. I think that's how you, Porphyrion. Porphyrion, that's gotta be it, right?
I still like Big P, it's funny.
Big P finally emerges, and he's so huge that Jason says it feels like he has its own gravitational field, and like Enceladus, he also has dragon legs, but his skin is the color of lima beans, and so this makes him a little less scary to me, because, what do you mean he's light green?
He's a pale seafoam green.
That's crazy.
A storm bedroom.
But then he gets a little scary again, because he's got weapons braided into his hair, which is also green, by the way. And I also wonder, how scratched up do you think this guy's back is? Because if you have a bunch of swords tied in your hair, surely they're, scraping on your back.
Ew, yeah. Never thought about that.
And so, upon seeing all of this, it says, and I quote, Jason made a heroic little whimpering sound he hoped his friends couldn't hear.
Ew.
Poor Jason.
Don't like that.
So then he tells Leo and Piper to work on freeing Hera while he takes on a second giant by himself. And so the giant calls him an appetizer, asks if he's Ares or Hermes, and Jason says he's Jason, son of Jupiter. And Big P says, thanks for sacrificing your son to me, Zeus, but it will not save you. Big confidence booster there. And Jason, like, the trash talk here is not, it's not giving.
Yeah, I kind of wanted more.
Yeah, because he's like, well, I hope you enjoyed your 2.5 minutes of rebirth, because I'm going to send you back to Tartarus. I miss Percy's trash talk, because his would have been something like, swords aren't even good hair accessory. Like, his attacks aren't like,
more cutting.
yeah, like, this isn't what I'm going to do to you. Like, be like, dude, you look like a freaking lima bean.
You're
And then
ugly.
he would, like, be referring to him as, like, the lima bean giant for the rest of the chapter, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta make fun.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, trying to do this big macho tough guy thing. And so Big P kind of mentions that he started the first giant war by doing exactly this, stealing Zeus's queen. And then the queen in question is like, actually, my husband destroyed you before and he'll do it again. Then Big P says Zeus didn't destroy him. He needed help from a demigod. But, like, just because you had help doesn't mean you didn't do something. Like, maybe you should be more self-conscious about the fact that a god and a demigod working together could bring you down. Like, you're like, oh, demigods are so puny, but they did bring you down. So I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So he once again mentions, like, ancient roots, pulling them up, all that thing, because, you know, they're really trying to give us that information. Then, unfortunately, Big P holds out his hand and a giant, like, 20-foot spear shoots from the earth, and the monsters start to regather, so not great. And then we get kind of the weirdest lore dump from Jason of all time. He says he's, quote, the son of Jupiter, a child of Rome, consul to demigods, freighter of the First Legion, who slew the Trojan sea monster, toppled the black throne of Kronos, destroyed the Titan Krios with his own hands, and he's going to destroy you, Porphyrion, and feed you to your own wolves.
Yeah.
Just before I decide if I'm going to say what I'm going to say, do you have any thoughts on this lore?
I kind of want to hear what you're going to say.
Okay, mine was just about, like, looking up some of the things that he mentioned.
Okay, go ahead. Because I did not look up any of them. I meant to.
Okay. Well,
And then I actually got assigned a task at work, so I was like,
I'm like, is it a spoiler to talk about what a praetor is?
I don't know, but I literally wrote that down with a question mark. I was like, I don't know what that is. Give it to me. Or I'll look it up right now. Just give it to me.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Well, so first of all, I googled consul because I couldn't remember what that was, and I don't remember anyone else ever saying that. But I think it's just the same thing as a praetor, and so praetors are just the highest elected officials of the Roman Republic. And they're elected for 1-year terms.
Okay.
And according to the Wikipedia, the minimum age for praetors in the Roman Republic was 39, and that was lowered to 30 during the Empire. And then that has apparently changed to 15 because this boy is 15.
Yes.
Allegedly, if this is all true. Much more to discover about all of that, because what? And then, one of the best lines of the book that, like, tickles me every time is after all of that, Leo looks at him and goes, wow, dude, you've been eating red meat? Like, every time. It just comes from left field, and I'm like, what? I love it. Incredible. And then Jason climbs up Big P and is, like, determined to tear him apart. Like, he has entered some weird rage mode here that I don't know where this came from. And so he climbs up onto his arm, rips a sword out of his hair, and then stabs him in the ear with it. There's also some, like, lightning involved that sets his hair on fire. This has the beginnings of a cool fight scene, but it is over so fast. And so, pretty quickly, the giant raises his spear, and Jason kind of accepts his death again, same as he did with Enceladus. And he's kind of like, well, we had a good run. We did some amazing, maybe even heroic things. And then Piper and Leo get the cage open, and Hera is free. So she yells at them to close their eyes, and she starts to glow. And Jason doesn't look away in time, and watches Hera achieve her, like, full godly form, which vaporizes every monster instantly, and also kills Jason. So we end this chapter with killing Jason. And I wanted to end this episode here, but I wasn't sure if this was a good enough cliffhanger. Like, is it clear that Jason dies here?
I kind of assumed that he didn't die. But I mean,
yeah,
like,
that was
died,
kind of...
But, like, I don't know, it didn't seem, like, real. I was like, okay, yeah.
Right.
He died.
And that was kind of my feeling about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, instead of having to do 6 chapters next episode, I was like, it's not even that good of a cliffhanger, really, because you're kind of like, this isn't a real thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, do you have some thoughts on this fight scene and why
I
it's
don't
lame?
know. Like, I feel like it was so. Like, we were building up the whole book for this. And I guess, like, it's the first book in the series, so they can't, like, defeat the evil monster in the first book. But, like, him just, like, slinking away at the end, I'm kind of like, seriously? That's it? Kind of a little lame of Big P, to be honest.
Yeah. It's kind of like he talked so much crap about like, oh, the gods can't defeat me alone. And then the second they had both a god and a demigod, he was like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, sorry. I think my mom's calling me. Gotta go.
Like, you've made yourself kind of a lame villain now, sir. Yeah, no, I agree. It was very, like,
Anticlimactic.
parts of it were really excellent, parts of it weren't.
Yeah.
It's very, but in fun title-related news, I do like this one. I called it Jason's Horse Girl Era Begins.
So good. It's a great
Because
title.
the horse girl bit is just, it's so good. It's like, the storm horse is very cool. It is a very cool horse, but it's also, like, kind of silly.
Yeah.
All
Silly
right.
little detail.
All right, we've got one more Piper chapter.
Let's do this.
51. So, Piper is holding Jason, who has been unconscious for several minutes, and she says she can't tell if he's breathing, but I feel like it's not the first time I've said this in this book, but that's not a very hard thing to check. Like, I feel like you could know.
Hover your hand over their mouth and nose. You can feel it if they're breathing.
Yeah. Well, I did say this book because it was Rachel when she was like, I think I killed Piper. I was like, well, you could know for sure.
Yeah.
There are ways to check.
Take a pulse?
So, yeah. But so Piper is basically spending all this time calling his name, and Hera says, it's no use.
Hera, you killed him. What the fuck?
Hera, what's wrong with you?
It's so rude. After you just saved her.
No, I know. And the way that she just, like, doesn't care in this conversation is wild. She's like, I warned him. She's like, it's not like I wanted to kill him.
She's so annoying. I'm sorry. I hate her.
No, and the amount, like, she talks about, like, oh, he's my champion, whatever. She should be more devastated here.
Yeah.
Like, Leo kind of remembers the line in the prophecy that said death unleashed through Hera's rage. And he's like, well, do some voodoo magic, bring him back. And then Piper announces, Jason, he's breathing, actually. And Hera says this is impossible, but Piper keeps on talking and eventually orders him to wake up. And he does. And my hot take, Rick's kind of a coward for not killing him off. Like, imagine, we spend all book with this guy, and we're like, oh, he's part of the Seven. He's part of this exchange. Like, he's really, really important. Only for him to die? All of a sudden, nobody in this book series is safe.
Like, when I kept saying, like, what if they kill off Percy in the first series? You're like, why would they do that in a children's book? And I'm like, it'd be really good for the plot, though. Like, it'd be such a shock.
It would. But see, the thing with Percy, though, is that he's the only point of view you have. So, like, if you kill off Percy,
like,
it's gonna...
Done, so fair enough.
Yeah. But, like, here, you've got all these multiple POVs, like, anybody could die.
Mm-hmm. If Piper dies, I am jumping off a building.
Piper dies, you're going with her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it would make the stakes more interesting to be like, our narrators can die? That's crazy.
Very true.
But, it wouldn't be a very interesting death to kill off Jason at this point. Like, I still feel like we don't really know him.
Yeah, like, he was just getting his memories back. He's kind of the only link we have to, like, the Roman demigods, so killing him off
would be not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, I think when a character dies, it should wreck me, and this would not wreck me. I would be like, oh, Jason's dead?
Oh, darn.
Yeah. But I guess if the bad guys get to do the whole coming back from the dead thing, we do too.
Yeah.
Alright, so Jason, kind of coming back to consciousness, he says he saw something really terrible. Thalia says that would be Hera, Her Majesty, the loose cannon. Hera then threatens to turn her into an aardvark.
Hilarious, by the way. It's just so random.
What a pull. Because, like, that's not her sacred animal. Her sacred animal is the peacock.
She's like, you're gonna be stuck.
She's like, hey, you remember that PBS show Arthur?
Yeah, that's you.
You're about to be in it.
Yeah.
And so Piper then tells them to stop, because they have bigger problems. And for a moment, she kind of wonders which one of them is going to kill her first. And then Thalia gives her a card for the hunters and says if she ever wants to join, they could use her. I think she should do it. Screw Jason.
True.
And so Hera also looks at Piper and is like, I wasn't sure about you on this quest given the way Enceladus was using you, but now I see you're even more powerful than I thought. Thanks, Hera. It's kind of a backhanded compliment.
She is literally the queen of backhanded compliments, I feel like.
Yeah, she's just the worst.
So annoying.
And so Hera says that they've prevented Gaia from waking, but Big P has indeed risen. Thalia says she needs to find Annabeth to talk about what happened here, and Jason's like, you're leaving again? We haven't even really gotten to talk, but Thalia promises that they'll rendezvous back at camp. And then we get some more details about Jason. He was apparently given into Hera's service when he was 2 years old. That's not even a child soldier, that is a baby soldier. But basically, it had never happened before that two demigods of two different aspects of a god were born in the same family, one Greek, one Roman. So Jason had to be separated from Thalia to begin his journey in the same place all the Roman demigods do. But I would hope that all the Romans don't start quite so young. Basically, the Romans start with Lupa, the wolf that raised Romulus and Remus. And this was the myth that many episodes ago, I was like, I can't believe Annabeth wouldn't know this myth. Because she was like, I don't know any myths with a she-wolf. And I was like, you don't know about the founding of Rome? But I didn't want to say that at the time because I didn't want to bring up Rome yet. But, I don't know. It just feels like a myth Annabeth would know. But I guess maybe she was like, once the Greeks were no longer involved, it no longer involves me. I don't know.
It's like, I do not care.
How often does Annabeth Chase think about the Roman Empire? Seldom.
Not at all.
It's a spectrum from, Jason to Annabeth.
Yeah.
Jason thinks about the Roman Empire all the time. Annabeth never thinks about the Roman Empire. And so we kind of put all the pieces together, and they finally tell us officially that Jason didn't go to Camp Half-Blood because he went somewhere else. And he can't remember where exactly this somewhere else is. But Hera says, when he figures it out, he will unite two great powers. And Jason's real sick of people withholding information, but Hera says that he's got to forge his own path for it to mean anything. And this kind of reminds me of what Sally Jackson said in the first book of the Percy Jackson series, when she was like, I have to live my own life if it's going to mean anything. So, they're always telling us that.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells them they need to go back to camp to prepare for the next phase. And Jason's response to this really tickles me. So she's like, you got to go back to prepare for the next phase. And he's like, which you won't tell us about, Jason grumped. And I suppose you destroyed my nice storm spirit, so we'll have to walk home? Number one, he's gotten a little funnier since he died.
Mm-hmm.
Two, saying Jason grumped as the, Jason said sort of verb there. Hilarious. I wonder if he stomped his little feet, too. And then him describing Tempest as my nice storm spirit horse. It's so horse girl coded to look at the worst horse and be like, he's perfect to me.
That's my boy.
Because, Tempest, I don't know if I would describe Tempest as nice.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Hera's like, I don't know if you'll see Tempest again, but, I didn't kill Tempest. So, will we see Tempest again? Who's to say? Then Hera snaps them back to camp, where they land on the Aphrodite table. And Piper's got one foot in Drew's pizza, and I put a little parentheses, and I was like, karma, bitch. But also, I find it a little unbelievable that Drew is the type of girl to eat pizza in public.
Really?
I don't know, I feel like she'd be all salads.
Maybe it's a low-carb pizza.
Yeah.
Cauliflower crust.
She feels like the type of girl who would want, everyone to know, I'm on a diet.
This is a lean cuisine pizza, actually.
God, I've eaten so many lean cuisine pizzas in my life.
I have frozen French bread pizza in the freezer right now. It's that actually sounds so good right now.
I would love pizza right now. I have KFC sitting right here ready to eat.
It's getting cold now.
I know, it's okay. I can put it in the microwave. The famous Bowls microwave real well. Or, also, maybe Drew could be one of those girls who's like, I eat so much and I never gain weight.
And it's the ones that you, hate.
Yeah. And so, Piper, it makes me laugh a little bit. Piper's like, whoa, whatever Hera just did, made me feel real nauseous. And she, tries not to throw up. Leo is not so lucky. He throws up immediately in the nearest bronze. And I realized I've never said this word out loud before, I don't think. Is it brazier? Brazier?
Curly, I have no idea.
The bronze things with fire.
Yeah.
So Piper ends the chapter with a very casual, hi, we're back.
Hello.
Queen.
Wait. Brazier.
Brazier, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have trusted my gut on that one. All right, so any other thoughts on this chapter? The lore we got?
Just interesting, kind of saying you will unite two great powers. Kind of a little foreshadowing there. I've got some predictions.
Okay. Like chapter predictions or general predictions?
Well, I have a general prediction and then I have chapter prediction.
All right. Excellent. Well, my chapter title for this one, I just stole Thalia's line because I think it's funny. Her Majesty the Loose Cannon. I think that's hilarious.
I love some Thalia sass.
Yeah. Oh, I did have one question for you. And I don't know if you actually have an answer or whatever, but I was like, do you still have questions about what's going on that haven't been answered?
Yeah, where the fuck is Percy?
The question, right, for sure. For sure. Yeah. All right. Do you want to do your prediction or the chapter predictions first?
Well, I think kind of uniting two great powers. I made this prediction earlier, so I think I did. I think when Leo was having like his epiphany on the ice bridge, I made this prediction.
I think so, yeah.
But I would like to see Jason and Percy kind of like team up. They're going to have to team up at some point to defeat the whatever. What are they? What are we calling these guys? The Giants?
The Giants?
Yeah.
Giants.
Yeah.
Perhaps
And then I have chapter
Jason
prediction.
and Percy and 5 of their other friends, because that makes 7.
Okay, so there's the 3 of them. We got Percy, Annabeth, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Thalia, 6. Who's 7? Clarice gonna be back? Do I have to deal with her
That
again?
is what you predicted, I think, at the beginning when we were talking about the 7.
That's what I'm gonna go with, the 7.
Interesting. I will say some of those are right.
Right off, right. Let's do this. I have the game on in the background.
Fantastic. 5 more chapters. It's crazy.
Literally.
All right, 52 is a Piper chapter. It's our last Piper chapter. But I will say it's a good one. And I have titled it, Everything's Coming Up Piper.
Musical reference, very you. Damn it.
What'd the Yankees do?
He lined out, made the 3rd out. We're going to bottom of the 6th. All right, okay, back to chapter 52. I'm going to say Piper takes control, takes the helm of the Aphrodite cabin from Drew. I want Piper. Everybody's like, oh my god, Piper! You're a hero. You should lead us.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's what we're manifesting it.
All right, 53 is a Leo chapter. And I've titled it, Hello MTV, Welcome to My Crib.
I'm going to say Leo shows the Hephaestus campers the cave workshop he found. Was it a cave? Is that right?
I think it's a cave. Bunker 9, yeah.
Yeah.
54, also Leo. Leo gets promoted.
Leo becomes head camper of the Hephaestus cabin. We're getting high ranked individuals here. Everybody's moving on up.
Yeah, everyone's a leader. Everyone's attaining office.
Yeah.
55 is Jason chapter. Jason finally gets some answers.
I have Chiron finally explains everything, and then in parentheses, too late.
Chiron explaining everything? Sounds fake.
But he's doing it after the fact. Oh yeah, this information could have been really helpful before we went on this quest, but thanks for telling us now.
Yeah. And then 56, also Jason. The lost hero is mostly found.
I want the lost hero to be Percy. Is he here? Can he come back at the end? Just a cameo? Hey guys, I'm back. Semester abroad, I'm back. I pronounce it Barcelona. That's Percy.
Percy's actually already in Greece at the ancient lands, waiting for everybody else. He's already defeated all the giants.
Yeah. He's where have you been?
Yeah. Well,
that's all she wrote.
We have one more episode of this book.
Crazy.
It's almost over. We've saved Hera. We've saved Piper's dad. We fought 2 giants. It's crazy. We've sort of learned who Jason is.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there, indeed.
Still haven't found Percy,
but we can hope. We'll be back next time with 52 through 56, the end of The Lost Hero.
Till next time.
Catch you next time.
Hi,
thanks for listening. As always, you can find us on social media at DemigodDebutPod, and if you like this podcast, please leave us a rating or review wherever it is you are listening. We've got one more Lost Hero episode next week before we switch gears a little bit, and I finally make Julie watch season 1 of the Disney Plus show before season 2 comes out. We'll see you next time.